Do you have?
All right,
Do you have?
Oh, she did. And I found out at the time, I called her up today.
all right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. First order of business is the roll call. Jill's not here, would you mind?
She didn't.
I just read all
I'm not online. Internet.
Marcia? Dick? Doug? Dina? Jane?
Here.
All right, next item is the reading of the minutes for the board meeting November 12th. Is there a motion to accept the minutes? Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any questions or comments on the minutes?
Could they just speak up a little louder, even though I got my hearing aids in, I can't hear.
Can do.
Thank you.
So no comments or questions on the minutes? Can we have a roll call vote? John, I guess I can do it.
I can call on it.
You do it, Chris, thank you.
All right, Joe?
Yep.
Marcia?
Yes.
Dick? Sina?
Yep.
Jane?
Yep.
Motion passes.
Next order is the reading of the minutes for the November 19 special meeting. Do I have a motion to accept those minutes? Is there a second? All right, any comments or questions on those minutes? All right, roll call vote, please, Chris.
Joe?
Yep.
Marcia?
Yes.
Dick? Sina?
Yep.
Jane?
Yep.
All right.
Passes.
Next item, public comment. Is there any public comment? You're just here for the warmth and the entertainment? All right. Next item, resident council reports.
The only thing resident councils are working on now is everything for the Christmas parties that are going to happen.
Report is acting ED.
Okay, we'll keep these relatively short, I know everybody's rather cold. As you know, Ehrlich came in and did their treatment. They did 9 units for, according to the bills, they did 9 units for bed bugs, 16 for roaches, and 4 for both. And Kyle will give you more details on it, but I just want to give a shout out to the maintenance department. They had a really big month. First off, they went around, Kyle coordinated having the maintenance staff go around to every single unit in the towers that we sprayed and help them get prepped the day ahead of time. And it really went above and beyond for that. And in addition to that, they were able to get 6 units that had been vacant turned over and ready to be leased up as well. So they really knocked out a lot of work this month.
Great.
The only other thing I had in general for the report, did do an ask the last board meeting for the investment register. What I've included in your report is the investment register as of March 31st. And the amount that it shows on there, the $2,056,219, that was as of March 31st. Again, we're working on moving resolutions in this meeting to get better access to bank accounts. But the amount that's on there is reduced by $362,738, and that was the amount of CDs that had to be cashed in the week that I took over in this role, because the insurances were due and payrolls were due, and it was necessary to cover those expenses. So it is reduced by that much. That's what reduced it from $2,056,000 down to $1,693,000. There are a couple things that will be brought up later in the meeting for deliberation and action. I'll just give you a quick heads up on both of them. They're both are change orders proposed from the architect. One of them is for the electrical panels. An identical change order was put through at the beginning of this year for the first half side of the building, and the same situation on the other side that has to be done. It's approximately $70,000, and because of the amount, obviously it's going to require board approval. I'm assuming that you guys will be passing that one, because it's integral to the renovation. However, the other one that will be up for deliberation and action is there's another change order that's been proposed. As you know, when we opened up the first set of units that were renovated, we had some, some problems with the plumbing where it backflowed up into the overlaid second floor. And the state of the plumbing is, the pipes in the ground is poor, to say the least. And they said that they anticipate the same problem on the other side, those pipes are as bad or worse. And the ability to fix it is much easier, and by easier, I mean less costly, to do right now when things are already torn up, than to do it, to just go in and clean it. Having said that, the change order is $144,778. And I can tell you right now, based on the contracts that are existing and what's needed to finish out phase one, there is not $144,778 in capital fund money. So in order, if we do end up doing this, which in the long term is cheaper than letting it go further, it's either gonna have to come out of investments, or if the board wanted, we could look into borrowing against 2027 capital fund money, but there is not going to be that amount of money available in capital fund money right now to just say, oh yeah, just throw that on. I did ask the architect what other change orders we have, based on what was done on the one side, what other change orders are we anticipating on the current side? And other than the $70,000 one, there's only two, one of which is like $19,000 or $20,000, the other is about $10,000. So there shouldn't be any other big surprises there, but for the plumbing, and I've given you copies of the proposed change order and what they want to do with why for the plumbing. And that's going to be up to you guys.
Those other smaller numbers, that's for the phase one side, just so. Those other change orders you referred to, the smaller
They're also
numbers?
phase one. Yeah, the $10,000 and the $20,000 will also be for the existing phase one. There will be one more that we don't have a number for. They haven't even spec'd it for me yet. And as you know, when you walk in the building, there's no ceiling tile on the first floor. And that's going to have to be replaced in order to close out phase one. And so they're getting numbers on that.
Could
And that's
everybody
too much.
to talk in their loudest voice?
I'm sorry?
Can everybody talk in their loudest voice? I couldn't hear a thing that John said.
I'm pretty loud, but I'll try to be louder. I apologize.
We're also recording the meetings and they're always on, we upload them to YouTube, so if you miss anything, you can always go back on YouTube and watch. The sound should be pretty good because we're recording from that device right there, so hopefully it'll pick it up just fine.
I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm too old to learn it.
All right. Thank you, John. Any questions for John? All right, capital fund, grant program. Anything else to add there?
No, that's the all I have.
Al Morgan, scattered sites, Tom and Joe.
Okay. So, let's see. Renovations offline, saying that there's 4 for November, no new leases. Recertifications 13, interims 2, evictions 0, and notice to vacate 0. For Elman Morgan, no housekeeping as well. And, Gil, vacant units offline during renovations, 7, there's been 4 new leases. And recertifications 9, interims 3, and eviction notices 0, and notices to vacate 1. The waiting list that I had for November, there was 1 for the 1 bedroom, there were 7 people for the 2 bedroom, 2 people for the 3 bedroom, 1 for the 4, and I have nobody on the 5. That's it.
Any questions for Tom and Joe? I have a couple of questions, both for John and Tom and Joe. Since at our last meeting, you might recall, there was this new category, vacant units that are not offline, and I was trying to get some clarification about how many units we have that are vacant, that are not offline. John emailed me those figures, they're listed here, they're not itemized, but they're listed here. We have 6 at Elm, 14 at Gill. And I'm assuming that we're gonna be working to fill those units as soon as possible. Are they
Right,
ready?
it's online, doesn't mean that they're ready to be leased up, and those are the units that Kyle and me are looking at tomorrow, like, there were 6 units. Are the numbers in here for, which are where? Like, where the 6 units are, I think I wrote those in here, actually.
There's 2 on hold and the rest are.
No, yeah, but there's,
Yeah.
there's a breakdown of,
Under the maintenance report.
That's, because it says vacant units and then completed.
okay, where's,
Under
No,
the
no,
That
no.
is just, it's on the first.
I apologize, I'll find it.
Right. What it says under the maintenance report, under total vacant units, it says in November 6.
Some of them have written, other type in where those units were at. Which units they were at. Well, I know what it says. Here it is. It's the North River activity. Of those 6 units, one of them was 1215 Elm, one was 131 Walker Drive, one was 205 Walker Drive, one was 1209 South Main, one was 352 Autumn Drive, and one was 296 Walker Drive. Those are the units that were.
3 at Gill, 3 at Elm, or more than one at.
Yeah, 3 at Gill and. The rest of
So, just so I'm getting a sense of the pace of the turnover, so like 6 per month, is that's fast?
Yeah.
So,
I have my unit availability report right here, and I only have 2 units available at Elm. And I had, 4 for Gill. The other ones that were leased up. And one of the units, 353 Linden Street, that has to stay offline because of, it's the drug
Yeah,
unit.
that
They
will
couldn't-
be offline indefinitely.
But it's on my list, but we can't take it off. But this is the actual available units I have.
so that still leaves us around 15 or so units that are that are not offline, but vacant.
I think it's a little more than that.
I think it's close to close.
Because we had, as of, when you reported the numbers to me, the numbers that are on here right now, so we have, yeah, 20, so we have 14 at Gill, 6 at Elm. That does not include the 6 that have been turned over, that's something else entirely, is that right?
Between closing them out and getting them to move out, getting evicted and stuff, it's gonna change.
So those 20 units have nothing to do with the 6 that you've turned over, that's my question.
I don't know about that.
No,
I don't know about the
Because I'm just trying to do the math, because that would put us at like 14 rather than.
We have more than 14.
There's more than that.
We're close to 20.
Bottom line is, you're working as fast as you can with the maintenance crew to get these things turned over so that we can rent them out.
Yeah.
And then the numbers you'd sent me, John, in terms of the specific types of units, right? I mean, I was looking at that and
You
comparing
want the better sizes.
the bedroom size. So I was looking at that, comparing that with our waiting list. And our waiting list, once we get these units open, our waiting list should be down to nothing with the exception of 1 bedrooms, because we have units that are there vacant, right? For the 2 bedrooms, we've got 7 people waiting list for the 2 bedroom. And
But the problem with that is there's 4 people on that waiting list that need handicap units. And those apartments aren't for that.
So there are some caveats there as far as people who need accessible units.
I have a
question. I didn't catch what Tommy Joe said about Vinton Street. It has to stay offline,
Yes.
and what was the reason?
That was, it was a drug house, and when we had the house tested after it was vacated, and there were traces of fentanyl and several other things, and it's required.
And it was cooking meth in it.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's offline for good reason.
Yeah, very good.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are turning them over. I hope we continue at a decent pace to get these units rented out.
They're doing good.
We need to house people and we need to rental. Okay, anything else? All right, Holland Tower, Char's not
Here's
here.
like here, the numbers, it appears that she had, so she did 7 interim recertifications in November. And that's the only number on here.
Does anyone have questions about Holland Towers, even though Char's not here? Maybe John can answer. Moving on to the maintenance report, John?
Okay. In November, there were 56 work orders generated, 9 outstanding at the end of the month. There were 34 of the work orders were tenant work orders, 15 were management generated, 7 were vacancy fix-ups, and there were 6 units completed, as mentioned previously.
Extermination report? No, unless there are questions, sorry, questions for John about the maintenance report? Extermination report, Kyle?
We got 30 at the towers that we're treating and 5 out of Gill. The pest control company came in and they completed their 2 sprays, like were quoted. There's a handful of units that are gonna need a 3rd treatment because of the severity of them. And I'm gonna be getting an email in the next day or so about which ones those are, what day it is, so I can notify the tenants that they need a 3rd spray.
But when did they start treating? When did they start treating? Do you remember the date approximately?
The last Tuesday of November, I believe. And then the 5th was, November 25th was their first treatment, and December 5th was their 2nd treatment. And then I think their 3rd treatment on the handful units is gonna be the week of December 15th at some point. But they have to give me the day and the list of those ones still.
And then, so that contract, if I'm remembering correctly, comes with a guarantee, a 30-day guarantee or whatever it was.
Yeah, so I think these ones are included with the price, and then we'll have our guy do an inspection before those 30 days are up and make sure, and if there's anything we see, we'll call him back and,
So-
take care of it.
If all goes according to plan, by January board meeting, we should be going from 30 to,
Pretty low, hopefully, yeah. But whenever we went to, so that Tuesday that they sprayed, we went around Monday to do the inspection, and a little over half of the tenants did not do the prep work that needed to be done. So we had to spend an entire day of all of our guys going through and doing all this prep work, and we didn't even get everything done that we thought we should have gotten done, but we got as much done as we could in the day we had, so.
all right, any further questions for Kyle on the extermination report? So working with Eric, they've been, doing pretty good. Were there questions in the audience? I'm happy to open it up if you got a question.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You have a couple living here that think they have bugs, and they're pretty certain, I saw the bites. One's older and he can't hear, the other one can't see. And I can't dial the note because I can get that close to him. But I reported like 3 times, can you please check for bed bugs? They asked me to, I did what I did. They asked me to, they always ask me.
Give it to Kyle.
So you're saying there's a gentleman in the building who thinks he has bugs,
So I think they did too, they had bites.
okay?
For him and his wife, but I turned it in 3 times and nobody's even been to our apartment to check.
So who did you you say you turned in?
I've been calling I called today, I've been calling previous days. I'm not getting no answers, they're not inspecting their place, this is going on, what's wrong?
Who did you call?
She called me.
I called up late.
And so you're aware of this?
I got the call, I heard the call today. In the past, I was told that I can't send anybody to inspect someone's apartment without the tenant themselves reporting it, so I was gonna ask and see how to handle that.
They did report it to me, I'm sorry, they always do.
Did you hear what Kyle said?
They can't do it, Dorothy, he can't even dial phone right.
Well-
One can't hear and one can't see, so they can't call.
They can't call. I've done this before and had no problems in the past, and no one says a problem.
So do we know who this tenant is?
Yes,
Can we reach out to them and direct them?
We know who they are, we're not allowed to say that at this meeting.
Yeah, well, I'm not asking for the.
No, I'm actually telling them. We know who it is, how they call
thank you,
So Kyle's gonna follow up with him.
thank you.
Thank you.
it. But he's right, that normally you can't take someone's secondhand
Sure.
reporting this. It's,
Yeah, that's for good reason.
Are they working with an agency? Do they have like active
No,
agent or
no,
somebody?
definitely, I can't discuss that, we're not here to hear that.
All right, any other questions for Kyle, regarding the extermination report? And what was your name again?
Sherry Run,
Thank you, Sheriff. Section 8, Vanessa, choice vouchers.
We've got 169 units that are under contract. We have 0 port-ins, 1 port-out, 23 VAS units, 1 home ownership. I have 330 on the waiting list. I did 11 interims and 9 annual recertifications. December's payment was $67,425.
Any questions for Vanessa? Richard, how are those inspections going?
We did 35, 14 passed, 17 failed, 4 inconclusives.
And anybody at the point of getting like a, sort of inspections that fail, just to rehearse it. The inspections that fail, they get another notice, they get a certain amount of time, if they don't do that, then they get one more notice,
Technically the third,
third notice.
the abatement should start.
Is anybody at that point?
Oh, yeah. But, I haven't done anything like that. We have one that's becoming a landlord tenant issue, not necessarily Section 8 landlord or Section 8 tenant issue, it's a landlord tenant issue, so. We just have to react to whatever they come up with.
And like we discussed last time, making sure that the tenants are informed about what their rights are in these situations. I assume we've been in touch with them and letting them know. All right, thank you. Any questions for Richard? Applications?
You'll put down there were 3 paper applications for 1 bedroom, 2 for a 2-bedroom, and there were 8 online applications for 2 bedrooms and 4 for the 3 bedroom. And she's been working around the clock on bringing the applications up to speed and following up with the applicants to get paper pending in. On that, she's going to do.
Any questions about applications? Resident initiatives project report, Bob?
3 children from Gill won fire safety poster contest. Layla Moyer, age 12, won first prize, $50. Jeremy Laver, age 10, won second prize, $30. And Jerice Owens, age 7, won third prize, which over 208 Christmas toys have been ordered from Toys for Tots. William Gill will have their Christmas party on Monday, December 29th from 2 to 4, and the Meadville Housing Resident Council will have their Christmas party also on Monday, December 29th from 2 to 4. Kilted Kiln will return to Gill for families to paint Christmas cups. In addition, they will also return to the VFW for families to paint Christmas cups. The date and time for the promotion will be announced. And Second Harvest Food Bank delivered 2 boxes to Holland Towers today and included for each tenant on the list 2 packages of ground beef. So,
Any questions for Barb? All right, moving on to the resolutions. The first resolution on our agenda is the integrated pest management plan policy. Just to recap on that, this has been on the table for us for quite some time. We had a special meeting on October 29th, which if you can navigate YouTube, you can go and find it if you're curious about the detailed discussion that we had about this policy. After the conclusion of that meeting, we made some amendments to the draft in front of us. We put that out for public comment. That public comment period is now passed, it's over. And so now it's up for us for a possible vote. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution? We have a motion from Sina, is there a second?
Second.
And a second from Jane. Any questions or comments about the policy?
Question or comment on procedure. Our minutes from November 12th say that that's when we moved to post it. So the question is, has it been 30 days?
It got posted to it was the October meeting that we did, it got posted.
But we amended it, we had amended it at the next meeting. So that's why I'm questioning it. Like I said, I
That's a
read the minutes.
legitimate point, I mean, if we did amend it at the November meeting, we had that 30 days go by. Yeah, I think.
We amended at the November meeting,
Did we
not
do
the
that?
October 29th?
All I'm doing is reading your minutes which say a motion to post the amended version of the integrated pest management policy for public comment was made. And that's under items for deliberation
In November.
in the November 12th minutes. That's what struck me, so it's not been 30 days.
Yeah, I was under the impression that we had made that motion
That was-
at the October 29th. But it could be that we just asked John to make revisions.
We hadn't seen the revisions
Back
yet
to
at the
us.
October meeting, so we couldn't.
Okay, so we asked for an October, and that showed it in November.
Correct.
Yeah, that's probably.
That was when the formal vote was made. I mean, the changes were made on October 29th. The
But
formal
it
vote
wasn't
to-
posted till after we approved it. So again, just a
Give it to
formality.
January.
Pardon?
So that'll have to go to January then, is that
Correct.
Okay.
So if anybody was listening, this is gonna come up for a vote again for final approval in January. I would encourage anybody who is concerned about the issue of pests and our pest policy, we can leave it posted, I mean, as long as we have the time. If anybody has any public comment, again, our substantive discussion was October 29th. So, no motion on that, we'll just table it and come back to it on the January meeting. The next resolution is amending the signature cards. Is there a motion to approve that resolution?
I'll motion to approve it.
So you made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Great. Any questions, anything to add to that, John?
No.
Any questions for John? All right, can we get a roll call vote, please, Chris?
Joe?
Yep.
Marcia?
Yes.
Dick? Sina?
Yes.
Jane?
Yep.
Motion passes.
Next item is the change orders.
There's one more resolution
Oh, okay.
Number 14.
to the credit cards.
Oh, okay, yeah, is there a motion to approve that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All right, any questions for John? Roll call vote, please, Chris?
Joe?
Yep.
Marcia?
Yes.
Dick? Sina?
Yes.
Jane?
Yep.
Motion passes 5-0.
Now the change orders. Anything, I guess I'll ask for the motion first, motion to approve the change orders.
I'm moving.
Is this for both of them?
I
or-
was gonna say, are we doing both or are we separating?
Do we both?
It sounds like we should separate them. It sounds like the one you said was necessary, the other one there was. some
Well, they're
question.
both necessary, but the one, so funding's going to be a potential issue.
Why don't you
That's
do
why I
it
thought maybe
separately,
we
so you
should
could have
separate.
separate deliberations.
All right, so I'm toggling back and forth between.
The one
So,
change order is for the electrical panel, and that's,
That's the $70,000.
65,722.
all right, so is there a motion to accept or and approve this change order, this one being for the electrical? Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? John, anything you'd like to add or underscore of what you already said?
No.
All right, roll call vote, please, Chris.
Joe?
Yep.
Marcia?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Sina?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Passes.
All right, and then the next change order. Make sure I'm looking at this correctly. It's for the funding, and that amount is,
144,778.08.
is there a motion
Um,
for a second?
Second.
All right, discussion.
yeah, I have one question.
Go ahead, Sina.
I was just had a question. I know you said we're gonna have to either borrow against 2027's capital fund or we would have to take it out of investments. What's the pros and cons of those two?
If we're able to borrow out of future capital funds, and we've not done it since I've been here, so I don't know if we should help maybe do that. But then it wouldn't deplete our investments. But those are, it doesn't, we don't have capital fund money through 2026 enough to cover that.
I just meant, is there like a better or a worse option, or are they both?
Well, if we were able to borrow this fund, if we're able to borrow any future capital fund money, yes, it would leave your investments intact. You pay interest, and you wouldn't be depleting investments by 150,000, so yes.
Well, if I heard you correctly, we've already taken $300 and some odd $1,000 from the investments.
The investments, we've taken out the investments
Right.
for several years, yes.
I'm reluctant to take any additional funds out of the investments.
Understandable.
Well, and certainly I think the other side of that coin is, if we take it out of future capital, that's great, but if we take it out of investments, we can't use future capital to necessarily replace all of our investments.
That's correct,
So again,
that's correct. And we get approximately, we get a little over $1 million a year in capital fund money. So if we could borrow against 2027 in order to cover the shortfall, then our investments stay intact, and it doesn't necessarily have that big of a hit against the 2027 capital fund.
my understanding and experience is that that is an allowable expense for something of this nature where you're doing projects like this.
And
That's
however,
not-
I think that, I do require board approval for me to.
Right. And HUD approval,
Correct.
but they would routinely do that.
And there's no chance or opportunity here for some kind of emergency grant funding?
I tried to get I initially tried to get the emergency grant when we had the fire alarm situation. And instead of looking at how much capital funding we actually had relative to what we had already submitted to a contract, they looked at the 5-year plan, and they looked at where things were allocated all around. And even though 100% of the last several years of money has been allocated specifically for this project, in the 5-year plan, there were different amounts in different places. So they said, well, you got this amount over here for Gil, just we'll move that over for the fire alarm. You're not eligible for emergency because you have this here, even though it really doesn't exist, because they didn't compare that to existing contracts. So
no.
So they told me no the last time for emergency grant, so maybe not.
John, do you have a sense of, I recognize they're working on the other side right now. Do you have a sense of when that will be complete?
April 17th is their projected phase 1 completion date at this point.
Okay, so them having their equipment on site, because the this price is
Having it on
really
site
based
right now,
on.
having it torn up right now, the opportunity's there right now.
Okay, that's what I'm getting,
Yes.
so it's either right now or you're not gonna have that opportunity.
Right, and so the thing, as far as borrowing against future capital funding, maybe Marcia or Dick could help me a little on this one, because I'm not sure. I don't know that we necessarily have to say specifically for this part, as much as when we get to April and have to finish out these contracts, we're gonna be short.
Right.
So to get the shortfall of whatever that amount is, we could go for that then.
And when is the capital fund get reimbursed? What's the?
They usually give you, they tell you your money usually around May. And although this year, maybe this year's different because of our situation here, because I knew what our money was in May, but I just got access to that money last week. So somewhere next year, but that's 2026. The 2026 money is gonna be needed to finish off that as well. So in 2027, we would be borrowing against for this. Yeah.
Question about the 5-year plan. Since it's caused you a problem, like, do we rewrite that every year, the 5-year plan? Does it get reviewed or?
You redo the 5-year plan with HUD every 5 years, but you do a 1-year one each year, and it's kind of a revolving thing that goes in their system. I reached out to them early in October, before they shut down. I reached out to them to try and make sense of some of this, and we haven't gotten there yet. I'm still working to get that. In fact, I was supposed to have had a conference call with them, with Paul and Tucker 2 days ago, and that postponed.
I was just curious if that was the thing that helped back the emergency funding, if we could fix that to reflect reality maybe.
I'm not, I don't know, I had sent him a whole bunch, I sent Paul a bunch of stuff when I first figured out our capital fund situation and contract. And I was asking him for a direction there, and at that time they were shut down, so you send them emails and you know, I said, we will address these in the order received as we can only reopen. They haven't addressed them yet, so.
Thank you.
They're maybe in the queue, maybe not.
Just for quick reference, so the last time the 5-year plan was up for review was April of 2024.
Yeah, I remember that meeting.
So it won't be until 2029. All right, any further questions for John about the plan, change order? So it sounds like the consensus is, that we use not the investments, but that we borrow against the 2027 capital fund, is that correct?
That's my preference.
But I also think it's better to do it now than to be in the situation of put everything back and then have to pick it up later, which, you know,
Right, so if you approve the change order now, they can go ahead with that,
right.
and then we'll pick up the difference when we close things out next year.
All right, any further questions? Roll call vote, Chris?
Joe?
Yep.
Marcia?
Aye.
Dick?
Abstain.
Sina?
Yeah.
Jane?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, treasurer's report, that's you again, John.
The check registers are in there for all those ever checked, if you have any questions.
I had 2 checks, or 2 different entries.
Okay.
Oil City Housing is listed under section 8 for 210 different units, but each time it's listed for the 2 units, there are 3 administrative fees.
I'm gonna have to
Any
put that
ideas?
one to.
There are actually 3 units down there
Okay,
with 3 different, they each have an administrative fee.
okay, it only looked like there were 2 addresses. so
I'll have to look at that, but there is 3.
Okay, but yeah, it was listed twice too, so why would we pay them 2 different checks? I don't know.
Right, separate, it sounds like 2 separate checks instead of 1 check or 3 separate.
Well, no, it's listed, all 3 units or whatever, were listed for 2 different places in the check register. Or else, again, I just want to check and find out. Whether we forgot to pay them something or whether it was a duplicate check, I don't know. We need to figure that out.
Any further questions about the check register? Motion to accept that part of the report?
So,
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any further comment? Roll call vote, please, Chris.
Joe?
Abstain.
Marcia,
Yes,
Dick,
Yes,
Sina,
I'm gonna abstain.
Jane?
Yeah.
3-0, that passes. 2 abstentions.
Income statement, John.
And the income statements are in there, and you can see for the, year, fiscal year to date, in November, we're at $156,252 deficit estimated. Again, these are all, anyway, they all.
Any questions for John on the income statement? Motion to accept the income statement.
so moved.
Is there a second? Roll call vote, Chris?
Joe?
Yep.
Marcia,
yes,
Dick,
Yes,
Sina,
I'm gonna abstain.
Jane? 4-0, 1 abstention.
Report of committees, anything to report from the bylaws committee?
I got some of the people helping me, so we should have something by next meeting.
Any new business? I'll just put it on the people's radar. I expect that we're gonna have a special meeting coming up to deal with the budget, the annual budget.
Budget as well as the meeting dates for next year.
So that will happen within likely the next
Couple
couple
weeks,
weeks,
yes.
before the end of the month.
Whenever you think, we can,
And I'll just say, I mean, I've said it before to the board, I think we might need a couple special meetings to go over this, depending on how, how much we are able to cover in the first.
fine.
All right, communications, anything? Take that as a no. I think we have a personnel matter to discuss during an executive session, so I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn to executive session to discuss.
You don't have to have a motion for that, you just adjourn to the executive session. We'll indicate to the audience that when you come back in, you're not going to be taking action with respect to anything, you'll be adjourning the regular meeting.
So people are welcome to leave and come back if you'd like to be here for the official adjournment. But in effect, the regular board meeting is over. We're now gonna go into an executive discussion session. But if you want to stick around,